At Level 1, The Courier, Amsterdam. Schiphol Airport. You've been standing in the customs line for 40 minutes. Suitcase in hand. An ordinary one, blue, with a scratch on the wheel. Not new. New attracts attention. They told you one thing. There's 9,500 euros in the bag. Don't count it. Don't open it. Just carry it. A customs officer stops you, asks you to open it. You comply. Clothes on top. 3 t-shirts, jeans, a toiletry kit. The money is at the bottom, under the lining. The officer looks at the clothes, looks at you, asks the purpose of your visit. Tourism. How long are you planning to stay? 4 days. He closes the suitcase, nods. You pass through. Your heart only begins to settle on the escalator. At the exit of the security zone, a man is waiting. Gray jacket, coffee in hand, staring at his phone. You approach, hand over the suitcase. He leaves without saying a word. You stand by a pillar, wait 5 minutes. Then you head to check in for your return flight. An hour later, a message hits your phone. 2,000 euros in your account. A flat rate per trip, regardless of the amount inside. You don't actually know how much was in that suitcase. On the plane, you stare out the window. You wonder why exactly 9,500, not 10, not 8, not 5. You Google it. You find the answer in 3 minutes. Reporting is mandatory for amounts of 10,000 euros or more. 9,500 is technically legal. It's called structuring. Professional couriers carry exactly this amount for exactly this reason. In itself, it is a federal crime, if they can prove intent. You lock your phone, look out the window, and think about the next flight. Level 2, the nominee director. The first flight becomes the second becomes the fifth becomes the 12th. After 8 months, you know the Amsterdam-Zurich-Dubai flight schedules by heart. Then comes a different request. Don't carry. Sign. A lawyer explains it in 20 minutes. A nominee director is a legal profession. In Cyprus and Malta, thousands of people earn 200 to 500 euros a month, signing documents for companies they've never seen. Your name is in the registry. Your signature is on the Articles of Association, nothing else. The real owners are hidden behind a trust structure. You are the face. They are the business. In one day, you sign documents for 7 companies. Panama, British Virgin Islands, Hong Kong, Cyprus twice, Seychelles, Luxembourg, each in a different jurisdiction, each a blank slate. Your hand is tired by the 4th one. The pay, 2,000 euros a month, fixed. No flights, no suitcases, just a signature. 4 months later, the lawyer calls. One of the companies, the Cypriot one, has surfaced in a fraud case in Germany. Investigators have requested the registry of directors. Your name is there, the lawyer says. It's nothing to worry about. You're just a nominee. Liability is limited. Technically, you listen to that word, technically. A week later, you are replaced. The new nominee director is a student from Chisinau, 22 years old. The lawyer sends over his details for your signature on the transfer of power. You sign it, send it back. You take the next contract. Level 3, the financial architect. They find you themselves, not through a middleman, directly. A meeting at a private club in Geneva. A man in his 50s. Dark blue suit, Swiss watch, no phone on the table. He says, "We need someone who understands structures, not a subordinate." The first scheme takes 3 weeks on paper and 8 months in practice. Money enters through a trading company in Panama. The Panamanian company issues inflated invoices to a Cypriot partner. This is called trade-based money laundering. The Cypriot partner transfers the money to Dubai as payment for consulting services. The Dubai structure invests in European real estate through a Luxembourg fund. At the exit, clean euros in a German bank. The source, investment income. Everything documented, everything legal at every individual step. This is called layering. The money passes through so many transactions that the trail simply vanishes. FinCEN, U.S. Financial Intelligence, tracks transactions from $5,000. Professional schemes break amounts down to $4,900. Every transfer is legal. The picture as a whole is not. 7 months later, the partner in Cyprus calls in a panic. He says the local prosecutor has requested 2 years of correspondence. He gives the names of the investigators. He asks for advice. You listen. Hang up. Open your laptop. In 40 minutes, the Cypriot structure is legally reorganized. Assets are transferred to a new legal entity in Singapore. The old company remains empty, with the partner still inside. He calls again 3 days later. You don't pick up. 2 weeks later, his name appears in the local news. Yours does not. You open the next file. Level 4, the advisor to dictators. The client arrives without warning. Private terminal at Zurich Airport. Black Mercedes. 2 guards at the door. A sitting minister of finance. He doesn't name the country. You know it by the accent. West Africa. He sits across from you. Places his phone face down on the table. Takes off his jacket. Hangs it on the back of the chair. Orders water, not coffee. $1,200,000,000. 8 weeks. You write the figure on a piece of paper. Look at it. Tuck the paper into your pocket. Clients like this are called PEPs, politically exposed persons. Banks are required to flag their accounts and conduct enhanced due diligence. Any transfer from a minister is automatically monitored. Professional schemes bypass this through third-degree relatives, third cousins, former fathers-in-law, distant nephews. People who don't show up on PEP registries but are controlled directly by the client. You build a network of 14 people. The minister's family, business partners, nominee owners. Each receives their share. None know about the others. 6 weeks later, the money is moving, clean. In the 7th week, an unknown number calls you. A journalist, a German publication. He says your name, asks about the minister, says, "We have the documents." You say, "You have the wrong number." Hang up. You call the lawyer, then the minister, then the lawyer again. 3 months later, the journalist publishes the story. It's detailed. The scheme is described perfectly. 4 jurisdictions. The correct amounts. Your name is not there. You reread the article twice. Put the phone down. Pick it up again. Your name doesn't appear on the 3rd reading either. Level 5. The subject. The Swiss bank sends a letter on a Friday evening. Not a call, a letter. The account is frozen, without a court order, without explanation, internal compliance policy. For a bank, suspicion is enough. You call the manager. He doesn't pick up. You leave a message. Go to sleep. You call back in the morning. The secretary answers. Says the manager is unavailable. The lawyer explains it Monday morning. In 2018, 100 countries signed the CRS standard, the Common Reporting Standard, automatic exchange of account data. Before, a Swiss bank was a tomb. No one knew what was inside. Now, the Swiss bank automatically transmits information to the tax authorities of the client's country every year without a request. The era of banking secrecy ended 8 years ago. You knew this, but the account had stayed clean. The lawyer says there are 6 months until an official warrant. You can fight it through the courts. You can move assets. You can run. You say, "We stay. We fight it in court." The first bank closes the account in January, the second in February. The third sends a letter in March without waiting for a decision. The banks don't coordinate with each other. They simply see the same red flag in the system and act the same way, like dominoes. Everyone protecting themselves. By April, 600 million is frozen, more than half. The lawyer sends a bill for 4 months of work, 800,000 euros. You pay it. It's the only account you can still pay from. In the evening, your son calls, 12 years old. He says, "Dad, they said at school that you're in the news." You say, "Everything's fine. See you soon." He's silent for a second. He hangs up first. For the first time in 5 years, you don't open your laptop in the evening. Level 6, the fugitive. The red notice is issued on Wednesday. By Friday, 195 countries have received it. An Interpol red notice is not an arrest warrant. It's a request to locate and provisionally arrest. A country can ignore it, many do, but it closes banks, cancels visas, and turns every passport control into a lottery. Your name is in the system, your face is in the database. Biometrics at every terminal. You're already in Dubai, renting an apartment under a false name. A new phone every 2 weeks. Cash only. No cards. You buy groceries at 3 different stores. No system, no routine. The UAE enforces red notices selectively, only if there is political interest. Right now, there is no interest. You monitor the local news every morning. Open, read, close. A lawyer in London sends documents. A British court has frozen accounts at the request of the US Department of Justice. Formally, it's a preventive measure. Factually, it's a signal. The US wants a deal. Your son lives in London, 13 now. His birthday was last Tuesday. You call from a number you'll destroy in an hour. He picks up. Silence for a second. You say, "Happy birthday." He says, "Thanks." Nothing else. He hangs up. You sit with the dead phone in your hand for 4 minutes. Then you take out the SIM, break it, throw the pieces into different bins on the way to the metro. In the evening, a message arrives from the lawyer. One line. They are ready to discuss terms. You don't reply. You open your laptop. Look at the list of countries without an extradition treaty with the US. Georgia, Vanuatu, Rwanda, Belarus. You read about each one. Close the laptop. In the morning, you open it again. You start with Georgia. Level 7. The Ghost. The deal is offered in January. A deferred prosecution agreement, DPA. You return the assets, testify against 3 clients, and pay a fine. In exchange, no conviction, only 5 years of supervision, and a ban on financial activity. The lawyer says it's the best you can get. You sign without reading. You fly into Washington in February. A gray morning, a federal building, a metal detector, a plastic chair in a hallway. You wait 40 minutes. You enter the room. 2 investigators across from you. A voice recorder on the table. On. No one asks for permission. The first session lasts 6 hours. They know everything. Panama, Cyprus, the minister, the journalist. They know more about the journalist than you do. You answer the questions. You give the names. The first, the partner from Cyprus. The second, the middleman from Geneva. The third, the man who paid for the journalist's silence. The recorder runs. The investigator doesn't look at you. He looks at the papers. 4 months later, the deal is signed. Assets returned. $280 million. A fine. Another $90 million. The supervisory officer calls every Monday at 9 a.m. You rent an apartment in Virginia, an ordinary neighborhood, a supermarket across the street. Your son flies in for the holidays, 14 now. He sits in the kitchen, stares at his phone, doesn't talk. You cook dinner, set 2 plates on the table. He eats, goes to his room, closes the door. You sit at the table alone, look at the second plate. You don't clear it away right away. Somewhere, right now, a young man is standing in a customs line, suitcase in hand, blue, with a scratch on the wheel. Not new. He doesn't know why it's exactly 9,500. Not yet.